All right, let's get into the next line now, which is the paper review. Let's bring you headlines across papers in the country this morning. And we have joining us the CEO of CKN News, Chris Kehinde Nwandu, in the studio this morning. Chris, good morning.
Thank you. It's
nice to see
you.
Right. And happy Eid al-Fitr.
Same to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wonderful one. The period of Ramadan has ended, so everyone can, you know,
shopping and
telling you.
On a long holiday, I just can't recover from that. So, not like I'm affected somehow. Not that I get to enjoy the holidays anyway, but then it's
a long holiday.
Right.
It's a long, but it's a good one.
Right.
It's a good one.
Those
times we used to join in maybe one day solidarity fast, and then break up with them.
Exactly.
Beautiful, wonderful.
Used to be good.
Yeah. All right, let's begin with the Punch newspaper this morning. Buhari to Nigerians: stop glorifying thieves, treat them with disdain. This was contained in his Sallah message to Nigerians, and it's really, one would say it's a good message to Nigerians, because sometimes when we've seen where people are being arrested by either EFCC or some politicians, and then you see some people come and say, he's our son, leave him alone, and all of that.
Yeah, it's true. We've lost our values. What used to be when we were growing up, all of us knew that there are certain things that you don't want your family to be associated with, especially even in the village. Yes. If they say that that name,
exactly,
integrity is very key. If for any reason that they say that family, there's something about them, you understand what I mean? People have a way of just keeping away and the rest of them. No matter how rich you are, people are very particular about the source of your income, how you make your wealth and the rest of them.
But I think the values have changed.
That is what I'm saying. I said that is the value. You know, even in the village where we see a very rich man, he wants to take your son, come to say, I want to take your son to the town or the people will just say, don't allow him. We don't know where he get the money. Yeah. But these days, no. People worship money. We worship money in this country. People don't care wherever the money is coming from or whatever the source and the rest of them. And that is why when people that ordinarily should be condemned and were supposed to be pronounced, not be celebrated, we continue celebrating them and the rest of them. Yeah. It's just value. We've just lost the value. Exactly. So the president is on point on this, and it is high time we start do that. Look at it. Even the kids, even the young ones, the Yahoo boy. You see boys riding all sorts of vehicles nowadays, and nobody cares.
Yeah, let's move on now. It's the World Cup is here. Goals galore as World Cup begins. Russia put Saudi Arabia on the line, and there was a serious beating yesterday. 5-0.
No, what they did was they spelled Saudi.
At least, and then someone said, could it have been the fast?
Yes.
Could the fast have maybe taken a toll on the
I don't really think. No, I don't think really. These are professionals,
right.
Okay, and they've been trained. They've been doing this. And the fact is that, don't forget, Russia are trying to prove a point. In the past, Russia have lost their last 8 matches they've played, even the friendlies and the rest of them. And don't forget, Russia, the players are playing in the presence of their president. So
exactly.
You could see the man yesterday smiling when he was talking to the Saudi, heir apparent, and they were out to prove a point. Russia have not been they've not been having so good for some time now. So they were out to prove a point. But even at that, the Saudi didn't give them the necessary challenge that they expected.
All right.
So the next matches, let's see what happens in the next matches.
With the opening match recording 5 goals,
yes.
It looks like there's going to be raining of goals, in this World Cup.
Yes, it's going to be a harvest of goals, and that is what the World Cup is all about. That's what it's all about. Exactly. It's not just about goals and goals.
Okay, and then Musa is saying we'll top Group D. Okay, I wonder if Nigerians share the same.
But
share the same.
You've forgotten what the mystic
said.
The
Pixel will get to semi-finals.
So he must have been taking a cue from the.
All right, let me just run through all this. I tries to get Jonathan to confer GCFR on MKO. That's Kola, the son of late MKO Abiola, is saying that. And convention, APC releases appeals guidelines as panel begins sitting. And Boko Haram, I'll talk some sense into Shekau if I see him, says his mother, Falmachu. Okay, we have to run through the others now.
All right, our next paper is The Guardian, and the main story is reading PDP flays presidency APC over 1 trillion naira MTN fund, as well as alleges sharp practices shielding of corrupt persons, claims credit for Nyame Dariye convictions. Asorok, however, is keeping mum. Ruling party dismisses accusations. Chris, let's begin with this reduction of the 1 trillion naira MTN fine. According to the Minister of Justice, that fine was reduced to 330 billion, a big reduction in the eyes of the PDP.
Yes, not even the reduction this time around. There was this alleged information that the lawyer that negotiated for the fund got a whopping 500 million.
But they are even saying it's the entire legal team.
I guess that is what I'm saying. And so that is the issue there. But I think the Ministry of Communication and the Minister for Communication should come out clean. You know, there was a panel that was set up by this House of Reps to probe this, and we went on and the rest of them. Even the payment has been staggered for a certain period and rest of them. So I think the presidency should come out clean on that.
To a great extent, one would see it as a political intervention between the president, the former president of South Africa and Nigeria when they met sometime. I guess it was part of what they talked about.
Yes, they did. I know that they had a meeting on that, and it was they agreed that there should be some level of reduction. But don't forget that there will always be some kind of undercurrent place, like some people and rest of them. You know, there are a lot of allegations have been coming up here and there, how some people have been trying to undercut the government, trying to undercut Nigeria with certain funds and rest of them. So,
especially when it concerns security issues,
and it's very key. It's very key. So I think that the government should come clean, and the AGF should come clean on that.
With more information.
Yes.
And then how do you consider PDP claiming credit for Nyame Dariye convictions?
PDP can claim anything. It's a time of politics. I don't know how they are claiming the conviction. They were not convicted on that PDP.
I wonder why we should be too interested in which administration did and the rest of the monies that were allegedly stolen belong to the people. It doesn't matter whether it's
the money doesn't belong to PDP, neither does it belong to APC. The fact is that these guys have been convicted, and so I don't care whoever it was. But the fact is that it was within this period, within this government, that they were really put to go, and they should take the credit.
And certainly it was the court that did the conviction,
it
not the
wasn't
political
the
parties.
PDP that did that. So
all right.
Just about politics.
However, I could just glean across those other stories on The Guardian. Nigeria will deepen relationship with allies. That's according to the president. Mimiko is also justifying the reasons for dumping the PDP initially for a Labour Party. Senate declares Samsung MD illegal immigrant, orders immediate deportation, and resident structures in grave danger as tankers and trucks defy Lagos government's military's order to quit bridges. That's it for The Guardian.
Let's move to the Nation newspaper now. Buhari, stop corrupt leaders. Well, it's still part of what we read in the first headline there. Sultan declares today Eid al-Fitr, which is celebration across Nigeria and even across the world, because is Sallah. Now, Eagles mentally, physically ready, says Raw. General Raw is saying that from the World Cup stand. All Nigerians certainly will be sitting in front of their TVs tomorrow. Those who are interested in football and those who are not interested in football, but tomorrow Nigeria is playing. So
we are playing tomorrow,
exactly.
And it's going to be a wonderful match.
All right. The importers with Chinese yuan invoices to pay less. Okay, that seemed to be some level of incentive for the cash swap between Nigeria.
Kind of incentive.
Okay.
Yes,
Shekau's mom, I've not seen him for 15 years.
Yes, that's a very big one. I pity the woman, and I wouldn't know. Just like we were talking about values in the first time, nobody wants to be associated with a son that has been seen and termed as a mass murderer.
Yeah, if you listen to the details of what she said, a very beautiful woman. Yeah. If you listen to what the details of what she said, well, the point there is we're not happy what we're hearing, and I will not curse my son because everyone will understand the bond that exists between the mother and the child.
Right.
I will not curse, but that is not that's not how he was trained.
Yes.
He left Yobe State for Maiduguri sometime from the reports we got. And it was at the course of being in Maiduguri that he got involved in
also some
people he was exposed to.
Yes. The other aspect of it was that she also said that she doesn't even know whether the son is still alive or dead.
Or
you
dead,
remember
exactly.
that she has not been in communication with him for over 15 years. Probably, I might just think that they should link her with Mama Boko Haram.
Oh, Mama Boko Haram.
You understand what I mean? Probably,
exactly.
yes. I think they should, if for any reason, she should be in a better position to be able to
and then there's also the angle of
yes.
indoctrination. Now, he also apparently fell victim now to indoctrination, just like the new Boko Haram recruits that we see now.
That was what she said. Okay, some of the headlines: 51 families of slain policemen get 29 million naira. Okay, and 6,800 delegates for APC Convention. Right, we're looking forward to that. Injury fear over Eagles star Leon Balogun. All right, not a good time to talk about injuries now.
Not at all. Not at all. You saw the Russian guy that just leaped off with hamstring just within 9 minutes of the match.
Of the match. So, okay, happy the Fitri to our dear readers. That's from the Nation newspaper to everyone who is reading. That's let's move to This Day newspaper. Okay, maybe you want to take that.
All right then. Thanks. Main story on this day, still President's Sallah message to Nigerians. We'll just go on to the other stories that made it to the headline from front page. That is, Buratai admits shortcomings in operations in Northwest. North Central says army is strategizing for decisive offensive. And then up there we have currency swap, CBN to incentivize importers who tender Chinese renminbi. 6,800 delegates to vote at the June APC Convention. Well, these are some of the stories now on this day. But then, talking about this admission of shortcomings in operations, how profound is Buratai's statement, Chris?
Well, when it comes to strategy on issue of warfare and the rest of them, I think I don't always like a situation where our security agencies just come and just make statements on front pages of newspapers and the rest of them. You don't see security agencies of the US and the rest of them spilling out their strategies on how to go about. I think they should just get the job done and the rest of them. Yes, we know that there have been some shortcomings. We know that there will be challenges, there will always be challenges. There will always be. There will always be challenges.
That's why there's the war.
That's why it's a war. And what we are having now is not a conventional war. You understand? It's not your normal conventional war where you see an enemy, you confront. These are guys that just hit soft targets and disappears and the rest of them. So, but they should continue strategizing and re-strategizing. And in the past, the chief of army staff had come out to say that they'll be wiped out within certain period, to give a deadline upon deadlines and the rest of them.
And then when the time passes, the people lose confidence.
So when you continue saying this, you say you're going to do this within this period, you couldn't do that. And
so sometimes it's better not to give time frame.
Exactly. And that's why just what is expected of the chief of army staff. I don't know why he's saying
Is that all from This Day newspaper?
Yeah, apparently. And of course, we could also talk about the picture story now. Back to base, former governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, during his return to the Labour Party from the People's Democratic Party, PDP in Ondo.
Okay, he returns to base now.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know why he's returning now, because that was a party that actually brought him to prominence in terms of he won the election and the rest of them. Then he has to drop the party to go to PDP. Now I think there's crisis within PDP. It's typical of every Nigerian politician, so it's expected of him. So I wouldn't know what.
Okay,
what
let's move to the Daily Sun now, which is the last year. Boko Haram, how Shekau became terrorist. The mom is revealing the story and says son was Almajiri, indoctrinated by Mohammed Yusuf as the founder
of Boko Haram.
Yes, okay, we've talked about that. National Convention, APC settles for consensus. Buhari directs zones to present preferred candidates for endorsement. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
this is a new twist.
That's a new twist to it. And, well, I think it's in the best interest of the party that they should go into that because for now, they'll be having issues with the various congresses they had at the world, the local government, and even state level. There have been some states that are highly divided, Imo and the rest of them. In fact, I just heard that Kaduna, there's some Adamawa, everywhere, Rivers, and the rest of them. So now I think what they're trying to do is not try to nip this in the bud, because if the National Convention is not properly managed, just that would be their greatest undoing.
Okay.
So.
All right, Governors Kalu, others greet Muslims at Eid al-Fitr. Yes, we expect these messages to go out at this time. World Cup opens with Festival of Goals as Russia beats Saudi 5-0. Okay. And offer robbery, police arrest 5 more suspects. Okay, we've not seen the end of this yet. Yeah. Alleged fraud, activist sues Oshomole. Okay. Well, that's that on the Nation, on the Daily Sun.
Vanguard is also towing the line of politics. Of course, nevertheless, the ball juggler is still made it to the front page, that is. But let's talk about this new twist now in the NPDP caucus within the APC. Now, while they are reportedly considering a return to PDP, local forces within the PDP, that's within of the states now, are resisting the return of Saraki, Kwakwanso, Goje, Tambuwal, and others. Vow not to surrender party structure. Chris?
Well, I don't think if they made up their mind, to join, there's nothing they can do, because I'm sure it's in PDP's interest that this high-caliber politicians come back to their fold if they are trying to make any level of impact. So I think it will be, but I don't see. I don't know what they're trying to do. And PDP is still trying to do is to negotiate their way within the APC to get something.
And a lot of Nigerians have been saying, if the NPDP, the CPC, the AMPP, the ABGA faction, the ACN decided to give up whatever they were to have or to fly the APC flag, why are we still hearing of NPDP?
I just wonder. That's politics for you. That's Nigerian politics. That's politics. So
all this, of course, ahead of the convention. We'll see how it pans out. A quick gloss now to the other stories. Oshomole, I think Mike already raised that. Oshomole surviving last-minute intrigues. UK considers relaxing visa rules for Nigerian doctors and nurses. Keyamo is certain that Gani Fawemi was blacklisted by the NBA for supporting Buhari. Well, these are some of the stories right there in the Vanguard.
All right, those are the headlines right now. All right, let's thank you very much, Chris, for coming on the program.